Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the End of the World book tag. This tag was created in 2017 by iLivieSimone now. She used to be iLivie for books. She created this tag and each question has something to do with an end of the world trope or like natural disaster trope or apocalypse trope. And I thought that would be really fun to do. So let's get into it. Number 1. Earthquake. Earthquakes separate the ground in multiple pieces. What is your favorite book with multiple perspectives? My favorite book with multiple perspectives is Eleanor Park. So, this was very popular a few years ago. I haven't read it in a long time. You've probably heard of Eleanor Park, but it's by Rainbow Rowell. It's a YA contemporary about two teens that are sort of outcasts and they fall in love, but it's very sad. I still remember the story and I thought it was amazing. I thought everybody's perspectives were great. Everybody's story, even the side characters, their stories were amazing. So, yeah, Eleanor Park. Number 2, Asteroid. You can see an asteroid coming before it hits. What book did you see the plot twist coming way before it happened? So for this one, I have Full Disclosure by Carmen Garrett. I think it just came out in 2019. This is about a girl named Simone. She's a teenager, it's a YA. She has HIV, so that's like her big secret that she doesn't want anybody to know. And then somebody is blackmailing her, and it's sort of like Simon versus or any of those books where somebody's blackmailing you and you have a huge secret. There's a character in here that I just didn't really vibe with. Something about them was just off. And then the twist was that they were the blackmailer, and I was like, oh. Number 3, an epidemic. An epidemic is a disease that everybody seems to be contracting. What book does everybody seem to be getting that you don't want? For this, I have an author, Sarah J Maas. I know. Not only because I'm not really a high fantasy person, but just the covers of the Sarah J Maas books I really don't like. How it has the main girl, I think she's a fairy girl, on the front, and she just has a really intense face, and she's holding like a weapon. I don't know, I really don't like those covers. The new colorful covers, I like those way more, so maybe I'll have to pick those up actually. Number 4, Tsunami. Tsunamis flood everything. What book flooded your thoughts and you couldn't stop thinking about it? For this one, I'll have to say I Wish You All the Best by Mason Beaver. This was amazing to me. I read it a few months ago and I just gave it a rating on Goodreads and then I didn't write a review. But then after a few months, I noticed that I kept thinking about it and I kept thinking about it and I kept thinking about it that I had to write a review. The characters, the voice, the representation, everything was just very, very good. It was so realistic. It reminded me a lot of Eleanor Park. I just really, really enjoyed that and I highly recommend that book. Number 5, Nuclear War. A battle of all battles between humans. What's your favorite human fight in a book? So for this one, I'll have to go with The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. So the book, you've definitely heard of it. It's like the first book about police brutality. Now that's like a genre. A lot of books are about that, but this was the first mainstream one from like 2016, 2017. The fight I'm thinking about is between Star and her friend Haley. Haley has been saying like tiny microaggressions and tiny racist remarks. Like she just said everything about everyone under her breath, and all of the characters let it slide because she was their friend. And there's this one time when Haley just pushes Star over the edge and Star clocks her, and I thought that was so deserved. Like, I was like, yes, finally. And, that fight was so good. Did they have the fight in the movie? I have seen it a long time ago. But if they did have the fight in the movie, it was not to the extent of this. Number 6, Alien Invasion. What's your favorite sci-fi novel? This is an easy one. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Yeah, so the Lunar Chronicles are a YA sci-fi series. This is the first one. I think it's actually a space opera because they fly around to different planets. But in the first book, they don't do a lot of flying. This is just in the future where there are people and cyborgs living together in society. And Cinder is a teenage girl and she's also a cyborg, and it is a Cinderella retelling. So if any of those things sound cool to you, it's a very cool mix. Number 7, artificial intelligence. This means robots, computers, technology taking over the world, etc. What is your favorite book that you read on an e-reader? I don't have a Kindle or any e-reader, but I have my phone and I get audiobooks from the library, so my favorite audiobook that I read on my phone was Less by Andrew Sean Greer. This won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 2018. This is a literary fiction, sort of like a queer male eat, pray, love. It's about a guy named Arthur Less who travels the world to find himself. And it was very interesting. I'm not a literary fiction fan, but I really, really liked it. There was sort of a mystery element too, where you don't know who the narrator is. The narrator is telling Arthur Less's story the whole time, and then you find out that the narrator actually knows him, and then at the end you find out who the narrator is, and that was actually very intriguing. I think this was a good first literary fiction for me to get into because the mystery element sort of balanced out the like literary slowness that I didn't really like. Yeah, so that was a good book. And the last question, end of the world movie. End of the world movies are probably always going to keep being made, and so are book to movie adaptations. What book to movie adaptation are you looking forward to? The Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. We all know the movies, they were not that good. I'm very excited for the TV show that's coming to Disney Plus. I hope that that does it justice. I hope that the kids are actually the right age. But also because it's a TV show instead of a movie, there's more time and more episodes to get everything right and get the pacing right and get the whole quest storylines right. So yes, I'm very, very excited for this to be adapted into a show. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And also, I tag you if you want to do the End of the World book tag. New video every Wednesday and sometimes Sundays, I promise.